Laura starts us off this hour in Washington. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Oh, hi, Dave. Thank you so much. I can't believe I'm speaking to you. This is such an honor.
Well, it's an honor for me. How can I help?
I'm just shaking. Dave, I'm just completely overwhelmed. My husband and I both are. We are former FPU coordinators, and we went backwards in a big, big way. And we
Why?
just want to make sure we're doing the right things.
Why?
Well, I was finally diagnosed with bipolar disorder type 1 and not able to implement self-discipline a lot. So it's one of the symptoms to do a lot of shopping and spending, and I did a lot until everything fell apart in early January, and I had to go into treatment and lost my work at the time, and all of a sudden the debt really hurt.
I'm sorry.
And it's one thing we made a lot of money and we just spent all of it. And now we have an $889,000 hole.
How much of that's house?
So $570,000 is on our primary residence, and $95,000 is on our old residence that we've been renting for a year. We've been spending the last 2 months getting it ready to sell, and it goes on the market Monday.
Good.
And we're hoping it'll bring $400,000, which will cover the consumer debt is $223,000.
Mm-hmm.
That includes a HELOC, credit cards, a 401k loan.
So the sale of the investment property gets you back to just your home mortgage.
Correct.
Okay. Good.
And if we get a good price, it'll give us the emergency fund. So, so we're thinking that we've been talking for a couple of months. Like, what would Dave say? He would say, "Sell the house, sell the house, sell the house."
Yep.
So is that what you would say?
So you're selling the house. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay.
So then you're back to a mortgage. What's your household income?
This year it'll be $180 because I didn't work for the 6 months.
Now,
and
what
then
will it
next
be this
year
coming
it'll be $280.
year? In the coming 12 months?
This coming year, in the coming 12 months, it should be about $280.
Okay.
Because I'm working again.
What do you do?
I'm a consultant for particular software.
Good for you. Okay. Well, you guys obviously have the ability to earn a lot of money. And by selling this, everything's cleaned up except the emotional damage.
That's the part I need your help with. Is I hear you. I heard one of your calls this week. I listen to the podcast all the time, and I hear you say, "Don't look in the rearview mirror," but it's really hard, especially when we knew better. That's the remorse is so bad because it's not like we didn't know better. We've listened to you and studied you for all these years. We just never finished.
While you
the
were
baby
going
step.
through your manic phase and manic depressive, and you go manic and you go spending like a crazy person, where was your husband in that equation?
He was not really paying attention.
Okay.
That's part of the problem. Is
the only thing I want to look in the
really
rearview.
involved.
The only thing I ever want to look in the rearview mirror for, when Sharon and I went through the bankruptcy, the only thing we sat down and say it is, yeah, we need to forgive ourselves. Yes, we did some stupid butt stuff. Yes, we feel like fools. Yes, we feel condemned. Yes, we feel remorse. Yes, we feel all of that. But that's only profitable to the extent we learn something from our stupidity and never do it again. And that's what we said to each other, Sharon and I. And so that's when we quit borrowing money. And that's when we said we're always going to be tithers. That's when we said we're always going to be on a budget. We don't make decisions without each other. And, the pain of going through that bankruptcy seared the principles, the positive principles into place, like burned them, like tattooed them, onto us permanently. Yeah. And so I think you have that opportunity here. And there's two sides to this equation. As for listening to you, I mean, what keeps this from repeating? In my mind, it's two things. One is you continue to do the work on your emotions with your counselor. If there's medication
Mm-hmm.
involved, by God, stay on it.
Yes, there is.
Okay, and with manic depressive, it's not unusual that it's chemical in the mix. Okay, not
Mm-hmm.
everything out there is chemical that everybody thinks is chemical, but that one is oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so stay on your medication, stay with your therapist. You don't let up on that, and your husband has to freaking stay engaged. He's going to have to be
Mm-hmm.
hyper proactive to make sure that you guys don't slip off into this, because you're walking with a limp and he's walking beside you holding you up. If he just walks away and goes, let's see if you can do it this time, and you fall over, I'm going to smack him, because he wasn't paying attention. He could have stopped
Yeah.
this. Okay? You were dealing with a mental illness. You were dealing with emotional illness that you were fighting, and you've gotten the other side of it. I can tell by talking to you, and you're not completely healed. I'm sure there's days that all of this, but the idea that you put some guardrails in place to keep from running off the road again is what makes the past okay to glance in the rearview mirror and see. But we don't want to live back there and just beat ourselves up either.
Mm.
I don't sit around and go, Dave, you were an absolute fool. You're a dirtbag. You have no use on the planet. You're of no value. You had a finance degree. You should have known better than to go that far in debt and let some bank take you down. I don't talk about that from when I was 28 years old. I'm 59. I've moved on. But I haven't moved on from the lessons that I learned. That's the difference.
Mm.
And so you take the lessons and you go, okay, I just paid $400,000 worth of tuition after I graduated from Financial Peace University. Now I did graduate studies. Right? I mean, that's what you did, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good perspective.
And the great news is you guys make a lot of money. The bad news is that means you can mess this up big again if you don't stay working on your stuff and your husband doesn't stay plugged in, walking with his wife and using a backbone and being proactive. You don't have a choice. You'll be right back in the same soup again if you don't do those two things. But if you do them, I think you'll be okay.